Okay, here we go. Listen to me, please. You know, last year we studied literature, yes or no? We started studying literature.
Yes.
All right? Hamad.
Yes, mister.
Yeah, last year we started studying literature. You remember?
Yes.
Very good. All right. So this year is different from last year since we will have to go deeper with literature. All right.
Right.
Okay. So as you can see, from the title of the lesson, it's about introducing the literary devices. Introducing the literary devices. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So what do we mean by literary devices? First of all, briefly, before before starting with the definition, I can simply say, generally speaking, that any writer, whether a writer of short stories, a novel, or a poem, or a play, he or she will refer to what we call literary devices. These literary devices are very important for the writers and also for the reader in order to understand what the writer wants to convey or wants to send. All right?
All right.
Yeah, you know that for any literary work of art or for any work of art, there is a certain message that the writer wants to convey to the reader. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, so these stylistic devices or these literary devices will help the writer and make it easier for the reader to understand the main idea of any given work of art. All right?
Right.
Okay, now please, you will have to read the definition. Just wait. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, read the definition, then I will explain. Go ahead.
In general, the literary devices are also called stylistic devices, figures of speech, figurative languages, are the collection of universal.
Yes? Hello? Hamad. Hamad.
Circle of work are read by readers. Hello.
Hamad.
Yes, mister.
Okay, please repeat again. Start from our collection of universal artistic structures.
What is that?
The second line.
Of all works are literally frequently employed by writers and giving meanings and logical framework to their works, works through language.
Thank you so much. Stop here. Stop here. So, as you can see, the literary devices, we can also call them stylistic devices, figures of speech, or figurative language. You can use either of these titles, all right?
All right.
Are a collection of universal artistic structure. They are called also as, we can describe them as artistic structure. Since we are working or since we are writing art, at the end, writers are artists. At the end, they are artists. Why? Because they have their own style of writing. And these stylistic devices can or will beautify their style more and more. All right?
All right.
Okay. So they are frequently employed by the writers to give meanings and a logical framework to their works through language. So when we say that each writer has his or her own style of language, it means that the figurative language beautified their style of language. These literary devices beautifies the writer's style of language. how they write. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Okay. When such works, go ahead. Continue.
What is that?
The middle of the paragraph. When such works are read by readers.
When such works are read by readers, the ultimately recognized by
And appreciate them.
appreciate them because of their universality. They also allow the readers to compare a work one writer to the other.
Okay.
To the other.
To that of the other.
To demonstrate, they are not only beautify the pieces of literature, short story, novel, poem, and drama, but also given deeper meaning to it, testing a very understanding of the readers along with providing them enjoyment of reading besides the help.
Thank you so much. Stop here. Listen to me. Let me explain a little bit. As I said, sorry, as I said, that these figurative language or these literary devices beautify the language style of the writer. In other words, when you read a short story or when you read a poem or a play, you will be attracted by the language of this writer. Why? Because he uses these literary devices. All right?
All right.
Yes. Again, it gives the meaning or the main idea or the ideas, let's say, that the writer wants you or wants to send to the reader will be easier for you and for all readers to understand. In other words, these stylistic devices make it easier for you to understand the whole short story or the whole play or the whole novel. Is it clear?
Clear.
All right. Let's go ahead. Besides, they help
motivating readers' imagination to visualize the character and the scene more clearly.
Thank you so much. Very good. Again, this is another important point. You know that when we read a short story or a novel or a play, especially with short stories, most of short stories are imaginative. Yes or no?
Mr. Your voice is lagging.
Because of the connection, that's why. You know that most of short stories are imaginative, imaginary. Yes or
yes.
No? Good. Here, look at the last sentence. Besides, they help motivating readers' imagination. What does that mean? They will push you when you read a short story, for example, or a play. The language used by the writer will push you to imagine a certain event, a certain scene of this story or of this play. Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. In other words, we are talking so far, we are still talking about literary devices. These literary devices will push you or will help you to imagine and think and use your imagination when you reach a certain, for example, a certain event or a certain situation of the story or of the play or of the poem. You will start imagining. Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Listen to me. You will understand this point much better with the coming details. All right?
All right.
Yeah. Now let's go and see the most common literary devices used by writers in their works. All right?
Right.
As you can see, listen carefully. There are hundreds of literary devices in literature. All right?
All right.
Yeah, but we'll just focus on 10 or 15 only, which are very famous. Just 10 or 15, all right?
All right.
Okay, see the first one. Read the first one, imagery. Read it, please.
It is the use of figurative language to create visual representation of action, objects, and ideas in our mind in such a way that are appeal to our physical sense. For example,
Thank you so
the
much.
room was
Thank
dark and gloomy.
Thank you. Let me explain. Imagery, it's taken or derived from the word image. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you read a short story, for example, or a play, you might encounter a certain description which will push you to start imagining the given situation. All right?
All right.
Yeah. In other words, as a human, automatically, when you read a certain event, for example, or a certain details about something, you will create a certain picture in your mind. This is what this is the meaning, or this is what it means, imagination or imagery. You will create such an image in your mind. Look at the given example. The room was dark and gloomy. For example, you are reading this sentence from a short story, from a passage. Yes or no? Automatically,
Yes.
yeah, automatically you will start imagining about this room, dark, gloomy, and so on. Some feelings will pop to your heart. Some feelings will pop up to your heart. Yes or no?
Yes.
For example, you will feel scared. You will feel, for example, sad, something which is a feeling of unrest, a feeling of anxiety, something like that. So this is what we call the imagery. You are creating a certain image in your mind. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
All right. There's another example, which, as you can see, the river was roaring in the mountains. The word roaring appeals to our sense of hearing. When you are reading, for example, this sentence in a short story or in a play, when you read such a sentence, for example, in a given play or a short story, you will start imagining the sound of a river flowing, for example, from the mountain or between the mountains. You will start creating this image of the river. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So writers use imagery in their writings to let you imagine and also to help you understand a given idea in the given short story or play. All right.
All right.
Okay. Next one, number two. Read number two.
Both compare to objects and draws the symmetry between them. The difference is that, yes, mister.
Read the title, please. Read the stylistic.
Okay. Smile and metaphor.
Simile.
Simile and metaphor.
Yeah.
Both compare to distinct object and draws similarity between them. Similarity between them. The difference is the simile used as or like, and metaphor does not. For example,
thank you.
My love is like red rose.
Thank you. Let me explain first. Simile.
Mister, you wrote red twice.
Huh?
You wrote red twice.
Yeah, it's like it's not a mistake. It's like that. It's written by the poet.
Oh, okay.
It's like that. Okay, it's not a mistake. Anyway. All right?
All right.
Okay, let me explain first. Both compare, simile and metaphor, both compare two distinct objects and draws similarity between them. What does that mean?
Excuse me?
Both of them, they talk about comparison. We compare between two objects. All right?
All right.
Two distinct objects, two different objects, two different things. But the difference between simile and metaphor is that with simile, we use as or like to make this comparison. All right?
All right.
But with metaphor, we don't use as or like. Is it clear?
Hmm.
All
It's
right?
clear.
Yeah. See the first example. My love is like a red, red rose. This is a simile because I'm using like. Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm using like. But with the second example, he is an old fox, very cunning. This is a metaphor. In here, I'm comparing someone with an old fox. You know, the fox is an animal, all right?
Yes.
Yeah. But here the message, what is the message? In here, we compare a man to an old fox. In other words, we want to say that this man is very intelligent and very cunning, same like a fox. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah, because in reality, fox is very cunning animal and very intelligent. So when you want to describe someone who is very cunning, you will say he is an old fox, very cunning. So I'm comparing a person, a man or a woman or whatever and whoever with an old fox. But I don't use as or like in here, as you can see. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
So this is what we call metaphor. We compare without the use of as or like. Okay?
Okay.
Let's continue with hyperbole. Number 3, hyperbole.
Hyperbole is the deliberate
Deliberate. It's
exaggeration of action and ideas for the sake emphasis. For example, your bag weighs a ton. I have got a million issues
issues.
to look after.
Thank you so much. Hyperbole. It's
Welcome
deliberate.
so much.
Yeah, it's a deliberate exaggeration. What does that mean, exaggeration? It means we exaggerate or we make something, or for example, we talk about something to a high level. We give it high extension, high level of care, for example, or of description. When you say, for example, if you want to tell someone that your bag is very heavy, you will say your bag weighs a ton. In fact, his bag doesn't weigh a ton because you are exaggerating. You will say your bag weighs a ton.
Yes.
In other words, please, you have to care about yourself and try to decrease the weight of your bag. All right?
All right.
That's the instant message that you want to say. All right?
All right.
Look at the next example. I have got a million issues to look after. Indeed, any one of us doesn't have millions of issues to do. But in order to say that you are busy the whole day, you will say, I have got a million issues to look after. Sorry, I can't go with you. I can't talk with you now. All right?
All right.
Yeah, that's the meaning of hyperbole. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, personification now. Go ahead.
Where instead, okay, it gives a thing, an idea, or an animal, human qualities. For example,
Qualities.
the flowers qualities. For example, the flowers are dancing besides the lake.
Yeah, have you seen?
Yes. She's. Have you seen my new car? She
Have you seen
is
my
a real
car?
beauty.
All right. So personification. Personification. It gives a thing an idea or an animal human qualities. In other words, we attribute human qualities for non-human creations. All right?
All right.
In other words, for example, sometimes you read when you were a kid, if you remember, you used to read short stories where flowers, animals, cats, and so on used to talk to each other. Yes or no?
Yes.
As if they are a human. Yes or no?
Yes.
This is what we call personification. You know that in fact, animals or any other objects, for example, they don't talk. They don't have soul. They are inanimate and so on. Not inanimate, they don't have soul. In other words, they don't have human qualities. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, when we said the example, for example, the flowers are dancing beside the lake. Does the flower dance in reality?
No.
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 Yeah, but when we write, for example, within a short story or a novel or a poem, you find that the flowers are characters, for example. They are characters. Yes or no?
Yes.
They are characters chosen by the writer as characters to give a certain message, to send a certain message. All right?
Right.
Good. Have you seen my new car? She is real beauty. Again, here we address the car by saying she. In fact, we use she only with girls and a human. Yes or no?
Yes, Mr. Batakar is a girl. مؤنث لا. A car.
Yeah, but we don't say she. We don't use she with cars and objects. We have to use it.
So she is wrong, Mister. If you
No.
use she for a car.
Listen to me. Here, we are talking about personification. It's not a matter of mistake. We use,
Okay.
in other words, the car looks like a person. Looks like a person. All right?
All right.
Yeah, it looks like a character in the play or in the poem. Remember, for example, if you remember, there is a cartoon entitled Transformers. Transformers, yes or no?
Yes.
This cartoon, the characters are cars. They have eyes, mouths, and everything, and they talk. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why this is what we call personification. All right?
Right.
Yeah. Is it clear now?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, go ahead for alliteration.
It refers to the same content sounds
Consonant.
and words coming together. For example, better always comes from better.
Always makes the butter better.
Mr. Butter is with a U, not an A. You wrote first B-U-T-T-E-R, the second one B-A-T-T-E-R.
Yeah, this is the word.
Okay. I thought butter.
No. Go ahead.
She sells seashells at seashore.
Okay, let me explain how the alliteration. We mainly use, or we basically use alliteration in poetry. All right?
All right.
We use alliteration mainly in poems. What does that mean, alliteration? It's the repetition of the same consonant sound in one line. What does it mean, consonant sound? The consonant sounds in English language are 20 letters. We have 6 vowels: A, U, E, I, and O, and V. All right?
All right.
And 20 letters for consonants. B, C, D, G, J, K, F, H, and so on and so forth. Alliteration, we refer to the same consonant sound. B, 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 as you can see. Better, butter always makes the butter better. Here, we are repeating the same letter, B, in the same line. Yes or no?
Yes.
This is what we call alliteration. The next example, she sells seashells at seashore. You listen carefully, that there is a repetition of se, sh, se, sh. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, the repetition of the same sound or the same consonant sound. Again, this is what we call alliteration. All right?
All right.
And definitely, the poet, for example, uses alliteration to show you something in the poem or to let you understand a given meaning or a given idea. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes?
Yes.
All right, good. Let's continue with the last one before I end the session because it's time. Irony.
Irony, it is used the word in such a way in which its intended meaning is completely opposite to their literal meaning. For example, the bread is soft as a stone. So nice of you to break my new PSP.
All right. Irony is the use of words in such a way in which the intended meaning is completely opposite to their literal meaning. When you read this word, this sentence, for example, this example, the bread is soft as a stone. We know that the bread is soft, yes or no?
Yes.
But what does it mean as a stone? What does it mean? The stone is very hard, yes or no?
Yes.
But how do you understand the bread is soft as a stone? What does it mean?
So he means the bread like it's hard.
Very good, Mascari. In other words, the bread is not, indeed, the bread is not soft. For example, your friend invited you to his home for a dinner, all right? And he gives you, or he gave you, bread. But the bread was not soft. It was very hard. So, in order to tell him, ironically, I mean, you look like laughing. The bread you gave me is soft as a stone. In other words, my friend, your bread is not fresh. Yes or no? That's the meaning. Yes or no? As if you are laughing. As if you are laughing. So, my dear, the bread you gave me is not fresh. It looks like yesterday or the day before yesterday's production. Yes or no?
Yes.
Very good. The next example. So nice of you to break my new PSP. Again here, once I read the sentence, I will understand that you are laughing. Yes or no?
Yes.
For example, I broke your PSP. So you look like angry, but you don't like to show me. Oh, for example, mashallah, you broke my PSP, which is very expensive. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's the meaning. It means I'm not happy with what you did. You broke my PSP. Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is it. We have an intending or an instant, we have a hidden meaning, which we have to understand. That's the meaning of irony as a stylistic device. There is another meaning behind the sentence itself. Is it clear?
Yes.
All right, Hamad?
All right.
Okay. I have to stop here because the lessons will end very soon after 3 minutes. I hope you've understood.
Thank you.
I hope you've understood the lesson, please.
Yes, I've understood. Thank you.
Okay, if you have any question, we can discuss next lesson, inshallah. All right?
All right.
Yeah, and I will send you the lesson printed out with your friends.
All right.
Khalid and Salim, all right?
All right.
Thank you so much for today.
Welcome.
See you, inshallah. Thank you.